weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control and something takes over me. In a daze, your love so amazing. It's not a phase. I want you to stay with me by my side. I swallow my pride. Your love is so sweet. It knocks me right off of my feet. Oh boy, can't explain how you love. It makes me weak. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Sit down, have a seat. Welcome to another episode of In All Honesty podcast. My fabulous name is Olive Oral, and I started with that snippet because in January, my very faithful self promised you that I will start uploading covers and compositions on my YouTube so that you can also enjoy my music side of life. But then, what is life? What is procrastination? What is it called when you don't think you're good enough? Imposter syndrome. What is all that? But I'm trying now, so I've decided I'm gonna be combining it with when I'm recording the podcast, and then I'm just gonna do a little music snippet in the beginning. I hope you like it. Please give me your comments whether you liked that bit of the song. That a bit where I sang. Tell me if you like it, and then we can just replicate it on more episodes that are coming. And for people who are watching on YouTube, I feel like the light reflection on my glasses is very distracting, so I'm just gonna take that out because I love you. But if you're listening on Spotify and Mdundo, you'll be fine. Nothing is distracting over there. So as I said, welcome to another episode of In All Honesty podcast. My fabulous name is Olive Orawo, and today we're talking about pet peeves. So how did I come to pet peeves? I thought, let me just tell you, I thought I'm the coolest chick ever. You know, check it dame. Ule dame anagama neno, ana drama, you know. But then I didn't realize that I don't have these sensitivities because everything had been structured around myself. I was by myself most of the time. I did everything by myself. I lived by myself. I was going to work and minding my own business and going back home. So at no point was I interacting with any humans very closely enough to pick out some pet peeves. But then when I started having like a close circle of friends, when I started like dating actively, or when I shared space with someone, is when I realized, I really hate that thing that you're doing. So let's get into it, because I didn't know how to go through the different pet peeves, and I also feel like my pet peeve list is very long. Why? Because first, I'm a neat freak, and sometimes I have aspects of perfectionism here and there. So that, and combined with my sensitivities being very heightened, I hadn't known this until very recently. I realized, oh, so you're not hearing what I'm hearing. Oh, you can't smell what I'm smelling. Oh, that sight doesn't bother you. So I realized my sensitivities are really heightened. And so, yeah, maybe my pet peeve list will be longer. So I decided to categorize them into the 5 senses that we had. There are 5. Sindio, nilitoka shule kitambo. They should be 5, right? Sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. Oh, yeah. And you should have also there's the 6th sense. The 6th sense is supposed to be your instinct, I guess. But anywho, let's get to the first one. Let's start with sight. Do I know what I do not like seeing? I know I don't like seeing people eat badly and people fill up their mouths. That's something that I'm not sure if I like to see. So when I watch kids, so this is the hardest part of like being with my nephews and nieces, is feeding them. When they mash things in their hands and then they just rub it on their faces, and that's like food. Amejipaka supu, maugali. You're just like, ugh. So I hate seeing that, and also adults who just don't eat right. Yani madhuguranyo tu akikula. So yeah, that's a pet peeve that I have. That's now sight. I don't like to see it, and I've also mentioned I don't like seeing full mouths of things. So you see these eating competitions where someone is eating 27 hot dogs, they're all stuffed in their mouth. Akigai, no, it's so disturbing. It is super disturbing to me. Don't fill up your mouth. People who have like a whole this one is weird. They have they lick when I look at someone and they're licking lollipop and it's that big lollipop. What is it called? A big bomb. I think it's big bomb. I think so. That big lollipop. When I see it in someone's mouth, I feel like yeah, I'm not okay with it. And that's because I can't fill up my mouth. And generally, me, I just don't fill up my mouth. I eat with a teaspoon. I have to like use straws or something. I just can't have my mouth stuffed. It's very uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable, and I do not know why. So I think that's sight. Let's go to smell. Smell, pet peeve. Hey, this one, guys. So you see how when you wake up in the morning, there's usually a smell. I shower. I shower in the evenings. I shower at night. But when you wake up in the morning, there's a sleep smell. Me with a too. I call it harufu ya usingizi. I don't know how to describe. It's musty, and it feels like the room is stuffy. So my smell pet peeve is that. I don't like waking up to that morning smell, and especially if it's someone else's. And for some people it's stronger than others, especially if you're the kind of person who uses, what is it called? If you use products on your body at night when you're going to sleep, all of it plus sweat, mchanganyiko, by the time you wake up in the morning, there's a smell that you have. So I don't like that smell, but I know you also can't control it. Everyone has it. So the pet peeve that then relates to that is people who don't open their windows. I really need you to open your windows when you wake up in the morning. And sometimes even people come to my house and find my windows open and close them. When kama unijui, kama unasikia baridi va jumper, chukua blanketi. Please do not dare close my windows. So yeah, I just like fresh air coming into the house. So yeah, that's one of something annoying is the closing of windows. And even like matatus, you know how you can be in a matatu and it's really stuffy, but huyu mtu wa dirisha amesema hafunguye. Yeah, so public transport, people who just can't open windows, stuffiness, I hate it so much. I hate stuffy air. I believe there's enough air in the world. We've not started getting taxed for air, so I believe there's enough of it to go around for us. Please just open your windows and let some fresh air in. Thank you. That's for smell. Let me go to hearing. Hearing. Oh, I cannot forget this one. You see when someone bites into a watermelon, that sound, when they take a big bite, that sound for savoring the juices, some juices are spilling off. There's a sound that's very fast and instant. It's just, I hate that sound so much. So if you've noticed, if you like maybe watching my TikToks or you hang around me, you realize that all my fruits are cut in very small pieces so that each piece can fit into my mouth and close. This idea of biting into something, especially something juicy like pineapples and watermelons, that sound is so freaking annoying. I hate it. If you're with me and then I just see you buying a watermelon, go eat it from there, by the way. Go eat it from there. Just don't make that sound next to me. That sound of biting into something juicy. Not burgers. Maybe burgers are fine. Specifically, I'm telling you, specifically watermelon. You know how there's that horseshoe of a piece you buy on the streets especially, and then people bite into it. So people... I don't know. If I find that sound on the internet, I'll put it here so that you know what I mean. I hate it so much. Something else that I have a pet peeve for when it comes to sound is a lot of colliding sounds. I don't know if that makes sense. You know how I can't be in a space where hey, I've been to places. Someone's TV is playing sijui what, a movie. There's someone next there who's playing music on the system. There's a TikTok video that's playing on the phone. There are people who are talking over each other. I'm just like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. There's, yeah, my ears are very, very sensitive, and I do not like where there's noises that collide, and also just like loud noises. I basically just don't like loud noises. If you approach me and you're a very loud person, like, oh, Lev, I'll be taken aback for a minute. I need to adjust. I also just don't. Loud noises. This is not for me. This is not for me. That is hearing. We've done smell. We've done sight. What have we done? Taste. We've not done taste. Taste. Huh. What would you taste that would be a pet peeve from relating to taste? I can't think of any. I can't think of any because whatever is going into your mouth is just basically food, and you can't taste something you're not sure. So I'll leave taste out. I can't think of a pet peeve in relation to taste. Then we'll go to what is skin. What is it called? Touch. Oh my goodness. Touch. There was no happier time than the COVID period when people were not supposed to touch each other. I was so happy. I was so freaking happy. And I might have mentioned this in my previous podcast episodes that I do not, I've, I'm, I'm very sensitive to touch. I do not like touch unless I am intimately involved with you. So hugging people, smothering, just all that is a bit much for me. But what I do not like, what's a pet peeve specifically, is when someone stands so close to you or comes so close to you, you can hear them breathe, or you can feel their boob touch you, or you can feel a part of their body touch. I just don't like it. I do not like it at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have it whether it's a stranger or it's someone I know very, very well. I do not like to be touched like that. Like, are we hugging? If you're hugging, sawa. Are we greeting? Fine. Are we having sex? Fine. But not that you just stood next to me and a part of your body is touching my body. What is that? Let me out of it. Yeah, so I do not like when someone moves so close to you, a part of their body touches you, or you can feel the lack of distance. Has someone ever moved so close to you? You can feel the lack of distance. You can hear it. There's also like, we were taught this in school, and I don't remember. I don't know why some people just never caught it. There was something called aesthetic distance. Just distance. It's basically distance that if someone were to take a photo of you and that person at any angle, it cannot vilify you. You get? Yeah. So sometimes I'm just like, I know maybe you can't process the idea of distance, but can you try and think of aesthetic distance? It's easier to break it down like that. That if someone were to come and take a photo, the position you are in cannot be compromising in any way, whatever angle this photo is taken. Yeah, so that is so that is something I do not like. Also, let me see if I have anything else touch. So just the other day, my boss actually, he realized I was really anxious. So he asked me, do you struggle with anxiety? I said yes, and he said, you should get a stress ball. I'll get you a stress ball. And I was like, I can't deal with stress balls because the squishiness of something in my hand is just very uncomfortable. So I don't like squishy things. And it also goes with the touch and everything that I've talked about. When you greet someone and their hands are almost, what is it called? Musty. Yeah, people with sweaty, soft hands. Yeah. You give me digiriri, the something. Yeah, it's a Willie Paul song, that word. Uranipa digiriri. Anyway, yes, that's what I feel when I have to hold something squishy, or when I have to hold something squishy, or I have to greet someone who's, that feeling. And then there's also I've remembered this, and then eating. I do not like the idea of having food on your palm. Yeah, you can eat with the tips of your hands, with all your fingers, but seeing food on my I literally never touch none of my foods when I'm eating touches my palm. And generally it's almost like food doesn't even touch my hand, because if I'm eating with my fingers, I'm eating with two fingers. Most of the time I prefer like to get a spoon or a fork. I'm not touching food. Most of the time I prefer to get like a fork or a spoon, because the idea of having food on my bones, no, no, no. And then so there are other general pet peeves that, let me see if there's general pet peeves that don't fall under the sensitivities. Yes, timekeeping. If you are someone who does not keep time, I don't think we'll continue to do things together. We'll continue to be friends, but that is something that I will consider very strongly if I have to invite you somewhere, if I have to go with you somewhere. And trust me, it is the difference between a yes and a no. Keeping time, because I have so much anxiety. I get panic attacks when I'm feeling like I'm getting late. So I cannot deal with that. And then with you now coming late. But then when it comes to timekeeping, it's not like all the time. It's not like I'm stuck up at you told me you're going to come at 2. Now you've come at 3 to my house. No. If it's like easy, casual things, that's okay. But if it's things that involve inconveniencing of a third party, I'd really want to have you there on time. If we are having, even sometimes it's not a third party, sometimes it's just things that you cannot compensate for. Like if we're going to take a plane or a train together, I need you to be there on time. I can't have that sijui ati nimefika 10 minutes, I'm running through security check. I do not want that shit. So for me, timekeeping is a huge pet peeve for people who don't keep time. They've known to date me. I've gone from canceling you to just not involving you in things that I feel like I'll need you in time for, to just saying no. You've invited me somewhere, you're telling me, oh, Sijui, we're supposed to be there at 10. Let's say it's your circle. I'm supposed to be there with your circle, and you tell me at 10. Me, of course, I'll figure there at 10. And then you want to come there at 12. So I've had 2 hours of trying to figure out who's who, what is the social status here. Save me, please. So timekeeping is a huge pet peeve. For people who don't keep time, I hate that so much. Are there any other pet peeves that are outside that are just basically in the general area? I can't think of any. Yeah, I think I've developed emotionally over time. So there are things that are not pet peeves. I'm just like, you understand, some things are humans will give you exercise, you will lose weight on this planet. So I think those are my pet peeves. I feel like it's a long list because my sensitivities are heightened, as I mentioned, and I also have like aspects of being a neat freak, being a perfectionist. So there's a lot of things that people do generally that is not organized, that really that really doesn't. Oh, on that note, for organization, dirty mirrors, I do not understand. If you're going to stand in front of something and look at yourself, why the fuck do you need a distraction? Why are you okay with with like a smudge of something? Why are you okay with a spill of something on the mirror? By the way, mirrors, me, I be cleaning. When I'm hosting, when I have someone in my house, I be cleaning mirrors every single day. I'm just like, when you comb your hair, don't you realize there's some spill of the oil that's going to the mirror? When you brush your teeth, I don't know how you brush your teeth, but don't you realize there's some spill that's going on the mirror? But man, when I'm in people's houses or when people are at my house, I think I clean my mirror is the one thing that gets the most wipes of all things in the house, because I just cannot stand a mirror that has a smudge or a spill or it's just not clear. Yeah, that's another pet peeve I didn't even realize I had. Anyway, thank you for coming to this episode. I had a lot of fun discussing pet peeves. I'd really like to know yours and the really, really awkward ones so that we can talk about them. Next week, I'll be talking about basically my life and how I came into this Nairobi and survived this Nairobi and made it this far. I'm not where I wanted to be, But I'm pretty proud of myself this far, and so that's the story I'll be coming with next week. But right now, thank you so much. Tell me if you love the music at the beginning of the episode, and if you are watching on YouTube, you can go to my playlist for covers and compositions, and you'll find me attaching these little snippets of music over there. And you can also make requests, and I'll see if I can sing your song. I'm still trying to practice. I can't even hold my breath very long, but yeah. But right now we've come to the end of our pet peeve conversation. Please share your pet peeves in the comments. I'd really, really love to know what your pet peeves are, and then we can laugh about them. But until next week, thank you so much. My fabulous name is Oliver Rao, and this has been In All Honesty Podcast. Bye.